I mean, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. It doesn't really make any difference. Maybe it's the famous battleground or something, or a miracle happened, or whatever. People like going to those places where something happened. Maybe just to get a little taste of it or something. I'm not exactly sure. And my sneaking suspicion is that every time somebody goes to a place like that, they leave a little piece of themselves. So the next time somebody goes, there's even more there than there was to begin with. And it keeps piling up, time after time, year after year, decade after century, whatever it is, until finally you get near these places and you start feeling stuff. I don't know if it's anything to do with the original event or the feelings of the people that have been to go see it. Who knows, but it's there. And I think the same thing happens with songs. You write a song, might not be a whole lot to it or something, but get some people singing it, leaving a little piece of themselves every time until after a while, there's feelings to the songs that may even surpass or go beyond the original intent or the words themselves or whatever. You start feeling the spirit of the people that have been singing it all that time. And I think that's what happened to this song here. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, and this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of your diamond deserts. And all around me, a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I've been singing this song for a long time. Actually, I remember when I learned it. It was one of those moments, those pivotal moments in time when you remember stuff. I didn't mean to stop, but I remember because at that time I was in the 5th grade when I discovered civil disobedience. It occurred to me one day that homework was wrong. It was just a morally bankrupt concept. Regular people that worked for a living were not expected to continue working when they got home. That's what the union guys have been fighting about for over 100 years. Where was the union when I needed them? I just quit doing it anyhow. On my own, my mom appreciated the thought process, just not the conclusion. And so she took me out of the regular school I was in and transferred me to one of these progressive schools so I could progress. One of my classmates is here tonight, too. And I remember I walked into the school that first day, the new school, and all the kids were standing up that morning singing my dad's song, "This land is your land." I was the only one there that didn't know the words. Nobody told me that stuff was famous outside our house. And when you're a kid, you don't think stuff like that. So I ran home at the end of the day, tears in my eyes, and I told my father what had happened. And he sat me out in the backyard after making me bring him this little guitar he had given me on my 5th birthday, which I still have. And he showed me the chords, out there. Then he taught me the words. And when I had the words down, he taught me some verses that wasn't in the school book version. So when I went back the next day, I went back armed. I've been singing the song ever since. It's nice to do a show celebrating that centennial birthday of his. I'm sure if he'd lived this long, he'd be out doing the same things he'd been doing back then, out occupying places with all the young people and stuff like that. Out in the Middle East where people were taking their lives in their hand just to change things, make things a little better. Here in this country where people yelling and screaming, trying to do something. He was sure that, it was important to get out there. That's all he thought. You didn't have to be right all the time. Nobody is. But if you start feeling like you shouldn't have to say anything because other people say something about it, or you get to be afraid that something will happen to you, or whatever, things start going downhill. So the more people get out and say what's on their mind, the better. And eventually we sort it out that way. So I will leave you with the last verse that he sang to me out in the backyard all those years ago. It goes something like this. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking my freedom high.